Hello and welcome back to another video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. Today I'm back in Berlin, Germany at the DDR Museum, and I want to offer you my final look at this immersive museum in Berlin. And I hope you have the chance, if you do visit Berlin, to seek out this museum. I think it's one of the most interesting sites in the city, and it's in an immersive space that really has the potential to transform your understandings of this important and turbulent period in German history. And in this feature, I specifically want to focus on the concept of discovery and illustrate 3 ways in which designers of themed and immersive spaces may use discovery as a way of better connecting the guest to that space and making that space more immersive for the guest. And for the first of these principles, let me focus on the notion of not explaining everything for the guest. And I think one of the things you see that's effective about discovery at the DDR Museum in Berlin is the fact that the guest gets to experience the space in so many varied ways. He or she interacts with it, they move their bodies, they operate machinery, different devices. It's not the typical sense of going into a staid and tired museum in which the guest simply reads some plaques on the wall and looks at some dioramas and cases. And very much related to this is the second area, which is the idea of using space itself as a form of discovery. And I think the DDR Museum is so effective as an immersive space because as you walk through a space, which isn't terribly large, you have the sense that there are new discoveries around the corner. Through the use of various forms of material culture, technology, design choices, and some ways in which they differentiate the one area of a space from a second area of space, I feel that the museum does focus on effectively using its own spaces as part of that discovery process of the guest who visits and interacts with this museum. And the third and final aspect of discovery I want to focus on today is the idea of involving the guest. And as obvious as this sounds, I think we see a lot of museums and themed spaces that unfortunately do take the guest for granted. Every narrative, every design, every form of material culture, every piece of signage, every activity is predetermined in such a way that there's no opportunity for the guest to achieve discovery. And for me, one of the greatest successes of the DDR Museum in Berlin is the fact that they do not take the guest for granted and that they try to achieve a sense of immersion that I believe ultimately does focus on the importance of each and every guest discovering something unique for him or herself in this immersive space. I hope you enjoyed this video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook, and you might visit the DDR Museum in Berlin or any other amazing immersive space around the world.